Manoj, good morning and welcome to Wick Concept Academy. Manoj, today we are going to discuss about food and beverage insights in New Zealand. So before we are heading into the podcast or before we are heading into our interview session, tell me briefly about yourself, Manoj, a little bit about your career and what you have done.
Yeah, hi Anurag, hi everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting me for this your podcast, and I'm really glad to meet you and after so long. Yeah, and yes, I'm Manoj Piasena, a Sri Lankan citizen, and I have spent more than a decade in the hospitality industry, working across food and beverage, hotel operation, and guest experience, both Asia and New Zealand. Hospitality is me just not a career. It's a lifelong passion for serving people, building teams, and creating memorables over the years. So I'm end up with coming to New Zealand. So I'm living in New Zealand. So I'm the food and beverage manager in one of the leading hotel in South Island. Yeah, so I'm here. Thank you. Thank once again, Anurag.
Okay, all good, Manoj. Welcome to the session. Manoj,
Yeah.
tell me briefly about food and beverage operations in a hotel in New Zealand.
Well, yeah, on the food and beverage operation in New Zealand, same like other countries, we do have three-meal periods, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Basically, most of the hotel doing breakfast buffets. Buffets pretty much is busy because most of the cases BB, bread and breakfast packages. Yeah, pretty much lunch is relatively very slow in New Zealand because most of the people is not going out for lunch really. Dinner is lunch is a la carte, order, and dinner pretty much is a la carte, which is mostly New Zealanders go out for the dinners. Dinner relatively busy than lunch. Other than that, like other Sri Lanka and Maldives, we do have conferences. Mostly conference have a buffet, morning tea and lunch buffet and evening tea. Cocktails and evening gathering is a bit rare in some in that concept. But we do have cocktail parties and birthday parties and farewell. Yeah, you name it. Yeah,
One question,
yeah.
Manoj. Manoj, one thing I have seen in most of the hotel, like after 9 p.m., 10 p.m., it's like a totally dead most of the hotel. Why is that? Like now, it does it mean like people are not much into entertainment in New Zealand, or they are not much focusing on kind of fun or other sort of stuff in the hotels? And what's happening actually? How do you make sales after 9 p.m.? It's pretty hard,
Um,
I have seen.
Okay, I like to say it's true and not true because in New Zealand, Anura, it's a hospitality is a seasonal. We do have some summer and winter. When you have summer, mostly people love to be outside, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, after midnight. But when you come to the winter, because it's dark around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is getting dark. So people have the dinner early and maybe 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and they're going to bed. So they don't want to go outside because it's a minus, sometimes -3 and 4 in outside. So no one want to go to the pubs or the bar unless even Friday, Saturday is really slow. You're right. Yeah,
Very
when
clear.
you look at this way, yeah.
Manoj, and one more thing, like now, one more significant thing I have identified when it comes to staff and staff recruitment and all other related things, especially in hotel operations. Now, here actually, like they don't focus much on experience or hotel qualifications, but people who, I mean, young people with the right attitude, they can just jump into hotels and work. Now, as an example, I have seen a lot of backpackers, they are working in hotels, but this is like completely different when you compare with other countries like Asian countries and other Middle East contexts, because those countries always they look for qualifications and experience. Like now getting a fresher like who doesn't know anything about hoteliering or hotel experience, but how do you manage, like how do you adapt your systems to accommodate a very new fresher into a very new setup, and how you're gonna perform your operations with this type of caliber of people?
It's a good question, and you're so true. Yeah. When you come to Sri Lanka and maybe Asian countries, we do have hotel school. We giving structural education, and after 4 or 5 years, go out, and then we join the hotels, and hotels has a different training program again. But New Zealand concept is much different, but it's really fascinating. Yeah, and because New Zealand mostly young generation, not younger generation not keen to get the structural education in the certain extent. So they want to have a, they don't want to be a probably not the academic qualification really, but even though they don't have academic qualification, they are really good at with the work. If you have a like a on the job training 1 or 2 hours, and what to do, and this is how to do, and with the example, they will do it. And other thing, Anurag, normally in the New Zealand country like a New Zealand, Australia, there is a lot of working holiday visa. So they are issuing working holiday visa, which is other like middle Europeans and each Europeans to can come to the country 9 months. They can work and earn to support this economy. We got a lot of talents from outside. Most of them doctors, lawyers, and some other industries. What they are using that visa, they are coming to the country. They want to reshape their mind. They are regular worker. They want to come out with the regular work and for fun and work, and then earn money and enjoy. Probably people who come here that working holiday visa, which is so easy to work with them because they are so keen to work, because they're coming to work, they're coming to earn, so which is they will learn in a very short a period of time all the services. I have
I
even
think
last month I had a 5 working holiday visa people. I just trained for 1 hour to how to do the setup restaurant service. They did it. Yeah,
Manoj, I think the main difference that you've seen in the labor forces when you compare with Asia and the European countries, I think the discipline matters, most of the time, and also these people have hands-on experience. I think in their school curriculum, so they learn a little bit of hospitality and they have the basic knowledge. That's why they quickly adapt and they can learn quickly, like what is the operation here. And the
correct,
other
correct,
than that,
Pablo, yeah.
yeah, that's another thing I have noticed. and
Hmm.
and one more thing is, like, here the labor cost is very high, so therefore you can't have so much, so many people in your organization, and you have to be very strict on labor budgets. Otherwise it's hard to manage your organization. That's another thing which I have noticed in New Zealand. And from that labor budget and costing perspective, so what is the biggest challenge you face in your operation?
That's very true. Yeah, New Zealand is main focus, main burden is the wage cost. So if every manager, every organization, every CEO has the main, if someone can handle the wage cost, there can be a real good manager. Yeah. So we are facing, everyone facing here, so labor shortage, because as I mentioned earlier, we do have a season. So we can't hire full-time workers, because in 6 months we are earning earning profit, but the next 6 months we are losing mainly. So mainly we in a company they're not hire full-time workers. As a percentage, like only 30% full timers, rest 70% will be a part time or the casual worker, which is that's how the operation run. It's
Yeah, I think
really
mainly the management focus is the budget and the budget controls,
correct,
right?
correct,
So this
very,
is a very
very
significant point, I think, when we look at the budgets and controls, when you compare with Asia. But there is a massive, a large number of resources available in Asia when it comes to labor. But this country is very strict due to this the budget constraints and also the labor cost. And
yeah.
one last question, Manoj. Now, let's say if anyone is trying to enter into a career in hospitality, let's say like food and beverage career, what
Uh,
is your last advice? You are starting from Sri Lankan Hotel School in Sri Lanka and as a steward, and then coming up to a bigger position in New Zealand.
yeah.
Do you think, like, what things, young generation need to develop themselves?
It's a good question, Anura. Yes, if someone planning to come to New Zealand, I would say, mm, please come, please get ready for hands-on position. New Zealand, there's a term called hands-on. Hands-on mean even here, even here, general manager or the F&B manager there, they are on the floor. So because of the, it's connected to your previous question because of labor shortage, as I mentioned there earlier. So everyone is working. So there's no office managers and even my general manager making coffee every morning. And as a manager, I'm running the shift sometime if something goes wrong, and we have to have that's a New Zealand significance about the hospitality industry. You need to break your boxes when you comes to the if someone comes from Dubai or Sri Lanka or any other country. Please take don't bring that box here, because here it's leaders are visible operators, not the office commanders. That's
Right.
the golden rules in New Zealand hospitality.
Very good point that you mentioned, Manoj. I think the anyone who wants to join with hotel industry or anybody who wants to explore New Zealand hospitality, so ready to break your boxes and have a new mindset and to explore the country and work with people and diversified culture. I think different nationalities are working there. Thank you very much, Manoj PSN, for coming for this session and giving your insights about the New Zealand hospitality industry. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Anurat. Once again, thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to meet you.